Hi, my name is Richard Griffin and this is the only briefcase that you can show empty before you produce something like a bowl of goldfish. Tennis balls. This is the ultimate bowling ball from Briefcase. Hi, my name's Richard Griffin. Thanks very much for buying the ultimate bowling ball from Briefcase. The original bowling ball from Briefcase was an idea by Howard Flint and JC Doty, or Doty. Not quite sure how you pronounce the name, it's D-O-T-Y. And their idea was you came on with a briefcase, you open up the briefcase and then you took the bowling ball straight out. And the idea is obviously a bowling ball cannot fit into a briefcase this thin. The difference of mine being is that you actually open up the briefcase first to show it empty and then you produce the bowling ball or a goldfish bowl or whatever you like. A number of years later, Kevin James came out with a trick called Bowlerama, and this was a sketch pad where you drew a bowling ball onto the pad, then closed it, squeezed the pad, and a bowling ball would drop out of the pad, and then you open up the pad and the picture of the bowling ball had gone. And I actually used part of the gimmick of Bowlerama on my briefcase trick, and Kevin James has very kindly given me permission to use the strap system that he uses on Bowlerama on my briefcase trick. And last of all, I'd like to say a big thanks to Patrick Wolford at Murphy's Magic for a number of suggestions that went back and forwards to help create what you see now. So what you would have received is a briefcase which has been specially adapted to perform the trick. Have a look inside. I find it looks like a normal briefcase, but there's obviously a special flap here that we can open. This is on magnets. The load chamber is here, you can put your bowling ball in there or your goldfish bowl, whatever you want to put in there. And it's actually, if you look at the back, the actual load chamber does fold up. It's actually a little shelf here on a hinge, and it does fold up and down. And if we have a look inside, you'll see that is the shelf there, and it's got a little hole in here, and this is actually where the bowling ball sits. Attached to that there are these obviously very strong straps that you'll see, and they actually go around. Once the bowling ball's inside, will go around the bowling ball, and it's like a cage of straps. And this is the idea from Kevin James's Bowlerama, that, like I said, he's obviously very kindly given me permission to use for this trick. So let's look at the setup. So the setup, I'm going to use the bowling ball first, and I'll show you the other versions later. For the bowling ball, you just need a bowling ball, and you open up your case, and then what you need to do is to place the bowling ball with the holes. The holes have to be on the top. So you place it in like this, directly onto the shelf. Okay, so the hole at the top here, and that's resting the shelf and the straps to keep it nice and secure and all in place. You then close the flap, and then you can actually place in here anything you like you don't have to place anything in there at all if you don't want to, but you can place in like some magic tricks or some of the other magic you can do for your show, or you can do what I did in the trailer and just put like a towel and a bowling glove in there, then shut it, and you're all set. One more thing I must mention: when you receive the case for shipping purposes, you'll find that there's a piece of metal going along the top of the case here. This is actually part of the trick, and what you need to do is to twist it out. It's obviously it's twisted that way just for shipping so it doesn't stick out when it's inside the box. But what you need to do is to twist it. It's going to be quite stiff, but so really, you've got to strong fingers to push it out, but it will go, it will twist out. Once it's twisted out like this, it can be left out. So when it comes to performance, you can actually have your briefcase by your table like this. You can walk on with it if you like. Obviously, you can only have people sitting in front of you for this trick, because otherwise, like I said, at the side they'll be able to see how it works. And when you pick up the case, you can't just pick it up by the handle. It has to be picked up in this manner, so you hold on to it with the handle, but with your thumb goes underneath that piece of metal that sticks out the top, and then your forefinger sticks out like this. And now, as you can see, that keeps the case nice and straight, because if you just hold on by the handle, it obviously would droop like this, and you would see the ball sticking out. So your thumb goes underneath the piece of metal, your forefinger sticks out, and that keeps the case nice and straight. So now you can pick it up without anyone seeing the ball at the back of the case. Now, when you let's say you're going to walk on with the case, you need to hide it with your legs, so you can walk on like this, and then you can bring it up onto the table like that. You're now going to open up the case, and you can actually lift it up off the table. You can sort of show it to the side a little bit. Obviously you can hide it by your body like this, so you're hiding the ball. You then take out the towel and the bowling glove, like I showed you in the trailer. Before you do that, you're going to close the case up slightly and then let the back drop down. And this automatically opens up the flap. And I'm going to show you this now from the side. So, like I said, you open up, the audience is obviously in front of me here. You open it up, you can show what's inside, maybe it's magic tricks, or like I have a towel, a bowling glove, and then you're going to fold this part of the case up first, and then let that bit down, and the flap will automatically open up. Okay, now you've got to be careful when you do this. Make sure you bring up the front first before you pull this down, because if you pull that down, the flap will open and the audience will see this flap opening. So, open up the case, show what's inside, then you bring up the front and you let the back down. And it will automatically bring the bowling ball into the case. You can then reach in front of the flap and pull out, say, the towel. You can put on the bowling glove, if you like, and then you reach in and take out the ball. I then close the case and then drop the ball to prove that it's actually a real bowling ball. Okay, so the goldfish bowl production, you need a bowl which is obviously a similar size to a bowling ball, and obviously one that will fit inside the load chamber. I don't fill it all up to the top, I fill it just over half, because see, when it's inside the case, when you put it down on the table, it will slightly rock a little bit, so you don't want it totally full, because obviously the water will come out and maybe one of the fish might come out as well. So just over half, or even half full. This then, I don't actually put any cover on this, so no rubber cover. So you don't really need it. You can if you like, but of course when you open up the case, you don't have to feel around getting off a rubber cover or something. So I don't bother doing that, because it is level as it rests onto the shelf, just like that. Close up the flap, then the case, and now you're ready to go. So again, you hold onto the case, thumb underneath the metal spokes there, and you can either then again walk on with the case and then put it straight on your table. You can also walk on, just turn to the side a little bit, because your legs can hide the load so they can see the thickness of the case, and then turn back and bring it up. Again, I'll do it this way so you can see what's happening. Open up the case, show it empty. Now when I'm holding it like this, my thumb is actually on the strap of the case, and my forefingers actually underneath that metal plate. And that helps me, if I just want to lift the whole thing up like that, I can lift it up just by the metal plate, my thumb over the strap, like that. So from this way, it keeps it nice and level, and I can twist it a little bit to show that the inside of the case. Also, if you can twist it like this, you can do it like this, so obviously your body's hiding the load. and then put it back down on the table, and then it's the same thing again. So you're just going to fold this up as you bring the other side down. Of course, that brings the goldfish oil right into the case. You then take it out, and then I put it straight back onto the top of the case to show that you've just produced a bottle of goldfish on an empty briefcase. So if you like the idea where I showed the briefcase empty, closed it, turned it upside down, then opened it again, and the ball dropped out of it, you can do it like this. So you make sure you've loaded your bowling ball into the case, make sure the flap is shut, and you're all set. So you come on holding it like I showed you before, hold it onto the hand or your thumb underneath the middle plate, 4 fingers sticking out, keep it nice and level. You can then walk on, say hi to your audience, and then you bring the case straight up onto your hand here, your left hand. Of course, you don't have to walk on, you can have this by your table and do it later on in your show. But I'll just show you that again. So it's from here, and then you go straight up onto your hand here. So now the ball and the shelf are resting on your arm. And then show it empty. And of course you can turn slightly, obviously don't turn too much because obviously you see the load, but you can just turn. Of course, obviously you turn that way, you can see the load, but obviously this way you can turn a little bit more because you can hide the load with your body. Okay, and then close it up. You then, basically with this hand here, you're going to turn the whole thing upside down, keep it nice and level so that the load you don't expose the load. Then, this hand comes underneath, and then obviously you're just going to open up the front and just let the bowling ball drop out. So you can produce anything you like from the briefcase as long as it fits into the load. The other idea I had was the tennis balls. You can probably get more than that in, there's about 20 in there. This way it's done the same way as the bowling ball, which I just showed you though. So you can show it empty, you can show it round, again just turn it upside down, and then just let all the balls fall out. So I'd just like to say thanks again for buying the ultimate bowling ball from Briefcase. Just one last thing, just please video yourself though doing the trick in front of a video camera before you go out in front of a live audience. The angles are very tight on this, so you want to make sure you're covered. But apart from that, thanks very much, have fun with it, and enjoy.